Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another Mad Meta Magic, where we try to make the magic meta mad. Now, Discord user and Twitch user Miximcz has asked me to play eggs. Now, I've made some slight changes to the list that was handed over to me. Originally, these Open the Vaults were Bring Delights as a way to get additional Faiths rewards. In a way, this is better, but it's also a little bit worse because Open the Vaults does not return lands to the battlefield. Oh, for those, I guess I should explain what Eggs is for those of you that don't know. The deck used to kind of be common, but now is not. And the idea is you play a bunch of cheap artifacts that you sack to draw, which it's like they're called breaking eggs. And then you use things like Lotus Bloom and other ways to cheat out a whole bunch of permanents. You sack all of them, and then you use an effect like Faith's Reward to return them all to the battlefield. And you just keep accruing more and more mana while cycling further and further through your deck. And then the way that this deck wins is it wins with Grape Shot, normally. Now, I came into some issues with testing. Big shout out to Six Sigma, one of my mods, for testing with me during the short time that we had. One of the things that we found out was the list was super weak in a couple of areas, so I've had to make some slight changes to try and account for that. The first thing was we had no answer to a Karn Great Creator at all. If it resolved, I just couldn't win the game. This was basically in part due to the fact that I could cast Grape Shot and then bobble, putting it on the bottom of my deck, and then draw it again and Grape Shot my opponent after killing Karn with the Grape Shot. Like, there was theoretically a line that would work, but I couldn't produce red mana without eggs. So I've adjusted for this in two ways. I dropped a Twin Cast for a Thassa's Oracle because I wanted an alternative way to win the game. Just in case Grape Shot for some reason couldn't do it. Like, if I couldn't get to a high enough storm count and couldn't just, like, keep bobbling or whatever to keep casting Grape Shot. The other thing is I added an Echoing Truth to the sideboard over a Natural State, which was played as a 5th Nature's Claim. So some explanations as to how the deck works. You spend the first couple of turns playing some Conjure's Bauble, Chromatic Sphere, Chromatic Star, suspending Lotus Blooms, etc. And then your combo turn comes around, and it's generally like when you have 4 mana and a Faith's Reward, you sack all of your eggs, you draw a bunch of cards. You can use Reshape, paying blue, and sacking any artifact to go fetch up a Lotus Bloom, basically a Black Lotus at that point, which turns 2 mana into 3 mana of any color, 2 blue mana into 3 mana of any color. Then you can crack that to help pay for Faith's Reward, and then you Faith's Reward, and then you get another Black Lotus, and then it turns out that that's pretty good. And you just keep cycling through your deck until you hit Grape Shot, or until you've basically milled out and you cast Thassa's Oracle. Twin Cast, if you cast Faith's Reward and you have a couple of blue mana left over, you can Twin Cast Faith's Reward and do the entire egg sack thing in between Faith's Rewards to, like, just generate absurd value. And Open the Vaults is not the best card because it doesn't hit lands, as I mentioned earlier in this, and part of the way that you gain advantage is by Ghost Quartering yourself to get more permanents back and to get more mana, or like getting back your fetch lands with Flooded Strand. But one of the things that this version of Eggs has as a competitive advantage, something that I learned while I was testing, is if you get into a place where you have a Faith's Reward, a Mystic Sanctuary, 3 islands, and a Ghost Quarter, and it doesn't matter if they're tapped, you can Ghost Quarter your Mystic Sanctuary, getting an untapped basic, then you can Faith's Reward, and if you get back any eggs that let you draw and enough mana to cast Faith's Reward, when Mystic Sanctuary re-enters, it re-enters untapped, and you can put Faith's Reward back on top of your deck. Basically letting you loop the same Faith's Reward until you win the game, which is excessively powerful. So without any further ado, we're going to take this into a constructed league. I might have to take some breaks or record at different times, because this deck is very intensive, so I hope the commentary doesn't suffer here. And like I said before, to appease the YouTube algorithm, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It'd mean the world to me if you did. You can also join us down in the Discord or over on Twitch. Links are in the description below. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the last few have been earlier. And we play a bunch of janky decks and like brewing in Modern. It's a lot of fun. And with my spiel out of the way, I will see you all in round 1. Oh, also, I leave links to the deck lists or post the deck lists in the description below if you want a copy of the deck. Alrighty, round 1, here we go. I would like to play first. The only problem that I have with this deck is that the combo is very time intensive, and time intensive combo has not worked very well for me on Moto. So we'll see what we can do. We're going to start Mystic Sanctuary tapped, pass the turn. Porter, that is a tug toy, not a chew toy. I will take it away if you start chewing on it. Okay, opponent starts Aether Vial off of Twilight Mire. Play Ghost Quarter, play Golden Egg. Draw Serum Visions, pass the turn. Okay, opponent untaps, Aether Vial ticking up. You should see the stink eye Porter is giving to me right now. My camera's not in a place I can manipulate it to show you. We need a Porter cam. Alright, opponent plays a Strangle Rootgeist. This looks like it might be the Yawgmoth Thron Physician Infinite combo deck. So hopefully we can combo off before our opponent does. So play an island. Let's go ahead and Serum Visions. We draw Serum Visions. Opt and Ghost Quarter to the bottom. Cast another Serum Visions. We draw Chromatic Sphere, Golden Egg, and I think Conjurer's Bauble to the bottom. And then play out Chromatic Sphere. Pass the turn. Alright. Opponent vials in a Wall of Roots. Takes down Wall of Roots. Plays a Yawgmoth. Alright, they get back a Strangle Rootgeist. Play a Windswept Teeth, and I think we get a turn to go off here. So hopefully what we have is enough. Unfortunately, we don't have... Oh, I guess it probably won't be because we don't have any Lotus Blooms. However, I think we still have to try and go for it because my opponent untapping with this many resources probably means we're just dead. So we're going to play an island. Float mana, Ghost Quarter our own Mystic Sanctuary. Get an island. Float an island. Sack for white. Sack for white. Faith's Reward. But I don't think we end up with enough mana to do anything is the problem. I can set up to draw Faith's Reward again, but we really needed a Lotus Bloom, I think. So put Faith's Reward on top. Draw Faith's Reward. Let's see. What can I do here? I need to draw a couple of reshapes, I think, right in a row. Get an island. Sack for blue. No, that's not going to work. So play out Chromatic Star. Play out Conjurer's Bauble. Pass the turn. But I think any Undying creature and they go infinite, well, as much as they gain life anyway. Well, it seems like they're attacking, so maybe we're not dead. At which point, I really regret Ghost Quartering my own Mystic Sanctuary. Giralf's Messenger... No, we're dead. They have enough sacks, they can kill us. So it didn't matter. We needed a combo off then, and we ended up fizzling. Okay. So for my opponent, I could bring in Leyline of Sanctity. Odds are they probably have some amount of hand hate. It does stop Giralf's Messenger from killing us instantly, I believe. Yep, Giralf's Messenger can only target opponents. Let me see if Blood Artist is each opponent or target player. It's target. And then they'll have probably Zulaport Cutthroat. Does Zulaport Cutthroat say each opponent? It does. So they can still kill us infinitely through ley lines, potentially. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in ley lines and a Nile Spellbomb. I'm going to drop the Opts, a Twin Cast, I think one Serum Visions, and an Open the Vault. We're going to try it like this. Alright, I'll play first. Well, we have a pretty decent opener, so I'm going to keep. There's lots of redraws available for us. So start island, play Chromatic Star. Basically, we're going to have to hope that our opponent doesn't like play a Collector Oof very quickly. I probably should have brought in Pyroclasm to account for that, but I did not. Okay, we draw a Chromatic Star, play an island, play Golden Egg. We draw Open the Vaults, pass the turn. We're going to need at least a Reshape before we combo off. At least a Reshape and probably a Faith's Reward. Opponent hits us with a Strangleroot Geist. We untap. We draw a Reshape. So we have Open the Vaults. Let's cast Serum Vision, see what we get. Another Reshape. Golden Egg and Reshape to the bottom. Play Chromatic Star. Play Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. Yeah, if we could get a Faith's Reward here, we're good to go. Otherwise, actually, we still might be okay with Open the Vaults. It wouldn't be quite as good, but we could get multiple Lotus Blooms, which would pay for the Open the Vaults. Opponent sacks a Nurturing Peatland, plays another Aether Vial, plays a Gilded Goose, gets a food. Okay, they hit us for 2, we go down to 16. Untap. We draw Thassa's Oracle, which is not really what we wanted to draw. Okay. So start by sacking Star to draw a card. We get a Flooded Strand. So that's good. Play Flooded Strand. Cast Reshape. Sacking Chromatic Star. We draw a Leyline. Get Lotus Bloom. Sack Bloom for triple blue. Then we Reshape. Sacking Chromatic Star. Drawing a card. Another Chromatic Star. For a Lotus Bloom. Sack Flooded Strand. Get a Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Sack Golden Egg. Then Open the Vaults. Okay, we get to draw a card. It's a Silence. This does strike me as probably a slightly premature combo, but we have a number of redraws and a lot of mana. Oh, I don't want to sack Golden Egg yet. Okay, then we play Chromatic Star. Filter again. Then we play Chromatic Sphere. I think this is our last redraw for the turn. Alright, we'll play out Nile Spellbomb because it at least prevents the infinite combo. Pass the turn. That sucks because we lost a lot of stars, but we do have a Lotus Bloom still in the grave, so Open the Vaults does generate a lot of mana. Opponent goes to combat. They attack us for 2. We go down to 11. They play a Verdant Catacombs, and they pass. We untap, drawing a Chromatic Sphere. So we have 7 mana. Play Sphere. Crack Sphere. We're going to Open the Vaults. Alright. Crack Egg. Sack Lotus. We can sack Spellbomb, but I don't really see a reason to. If my opponent has some kind of violatable grave hate, I don't want to run into that. Okay, now we have lots of mana and a lot of draws. We draw a Lotus Bloom, so sack for white. This should be the combo here. We have so many redraws, it's very unlikely we do not hit some way to get all of this back. Okay, Mystic Sanctuary. We can play and get back Open the Vaults. I'm going to keep sacking for a moment, though, because if I can get Faith's Reward, it is technically better. Man, no idea where the Open the Vaults is. Or, no idea where the Faith's Reward is, actually. Okay, so Mystic Sanctuary. Did I do this wrong? Hang on. I think I sacked one too many. No, I have enough mana. Okay. Play Mystic Sanctuary. Put back Open the Vaults. So now I have 7 mana. So I can filter a mana into a black. Crack Nile Spellbomb. Draw a card, which is Open the Vaults. Exile my opponent's grave. Float a blue. Float a bunch of white. Open the Vaults. Get it all back. Alright, we draw a card. It's another ley line. Crack white. Draw a card. Okay. Sack Lotus for blue. Reshape. Sack Chromatic Star. Draw Faith's Reward. Get Lotus Bloom. Crack for white. Sack for white. Sack for white. I'm gonna eventually have to filter into blue, and I'm just gonna win with Thassa's Oracle if given the option. Yep. Sack for white. Faith's Reward. Get all of that back. Draw a card. Serum Visions. Scry to the bottom. Scry to the bottom. Play Sphere. Crack Sphere. Crack Sphere. I gotta draw my whole deck for this. There's all our Faith's Rewards. So, Silence. Okay. Faith's Reward. Sack for blue. 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 6 cards left in our deck. I need to get down to 1 card. Play a Conjurer's Bauble. Play a Conjurer's Bauble. 1 card left in deck. Play Thassa's Oracle. Alright. We won a game. I probably should have Pyroclasm in this deck. It's probably more important than a Silence, and honestly, it's probably more important than 1 ley line. And we're going to try it like this. So, as you can see, when we took out the Open the Vaults and we added stuff like Leyline, we've really decreased the consistency of this deck. But we have to have those things to answer actual potential threats. Well, this is enough mana, hopefully. We have a number of turns to try and draw Faith's Reward. And if we top deck a land, we'll get there very quickly. Start Leyline. Opponent starts Twilight Mire into Aether Vial. So we untap, we draw an island. Play an island, play a star. Suspend, suspend. Opponent untaps, takes up Vial. Doesn't play a land and passes. Wow, okay. So Lotus Bloom's ticking down. We draw Serum Visions. Play Serum Visions, try and draw land. We draw Open the Vaults. There's a Reshape. Another Serum Visions. I think I put both of these to the bottom because we have 2 Lotus Blooms already. Basically, as long as we don't get hit with a Collector Oof here, we're fine. Opponent Vials in a 1-drop. It's a Gilded Goose. They get a food. They untap Aether Vial. Going up to 2. Okay, opponent sacks the food. Activates Twilight Mire to get double green. Plays a Birds. Vials in a Strangleroot Geist. So sacking the food wasn't... or tapping Twilight Mire was not necessary. Opponent hits us for 2. Lotus Bloom's ticking down. We draw a Serum Visions. Play Serum Visions, try and draw land. We get a Conjurer's Bauble. Golden Egg to the bottom, Faith's Reward to the top. Pass the turn. So, given the option of a land to draw after Faith's Reward, we want to basically get a Ghost Quarter, because that's going to get us Ghost Quarter, or actually a Flooded Strand probably is better. Opponent plays an Overgrown Tomb, untapped. Aether Vial did tick up to 3. Opponent Eldritch Evolution, Strangleroot Geist. Probably for Yawgmoth here. Or if they have if they have a Collector Oof, they can get it this way. They're thinking hard. Phyrexian Revoker. Okay, they're gonna name Lotus Bloom like 100%. Yep, that does stop mana abilities. Okay, we get hit for 3. We go to 18. We untap. So Lotus Bloom coming off suspend. We need to draw our Pyroclasm now. So we draw Faith's Reward off the top. Sack star for blue. Draw a card. Reshape. Play star. Yeah, okay. Pass the turn. Now we need to draw mana and Pyroclasm. So it's got to happen here. And we got to do it in very short order. Opponent plays Yawgmoth. Had my opponent not had Revoker, we definitely would have won last turn. Because Lotus land is 7 mana, which lets us play 3 or 4 eggs, then Faith's Reward. Because we can reshape for another Lotus. Oh, man. Yeah, and then Open the Vaults would have even generated mana. I'm glad I brought in the Pyroclasms, but we do need to draw them. And I may actually be dead already. I guess I'll find out. Okay, opponent Eldritch Evolutions, Birds of Paradise, for a second Strangle Rootgeist. So I think, yep, this is infinite draws as long as they have life. So opponent should be able to draw whatever it is they need to actually kill us. They don't have enough mana to like play a Zulaport Cutthroat if they happen to draw one. They go to combat, they attack us for 7. We take 7. Alright, top 2 cards have to be Pyroclasm untapped land. There's an untapped land. Sack Star for red. Pyroclasm. It's an island. Yep. And that does it. Even if we had a Lightning Bolt in this deck. Yep. Alright. Opponent's got us. We're dead on board. That's very sad, because we were doing pretty well. Alright, I'll see you guys in round 2. Alrighty. Round 2, here we go. Alright, I wish I had another untapped land, but this should work. My opponent is playing a Lurrus deck, which is probably Lurrus Death Shadow. So they shock a Blood Crypt, and they Inquisition. Probably takes Lotus Bloom, maybe Reshape. They could take Grape Shot, I guess. Opponent is having a tough time thinking about it. They take Reshape. That's probably the most fair option for them. So suspend Lotus Bloom. We're going to play Mystic Sanctuary tapped and pass the turn. Opponent plays a Bloodstained Mire. They crack it. They play a Blood Crypt, untapped. And then they play a Kroxa. So I'm going to discard a Golden Egg. We untap, Lotus Bloom ticking down. We draw an island, and play Golden Egg. Drawing a Silence. Pass the turn. We will need to find a Faith's Reward here. Opponent plays a Sunbaked Canyon into a Mishra's Bauble. Looking at the top card of our deck. A Knight's Whisper going down to 12. And then they play a Bombat Courier. Okay, they hit us down to 19. We untap. Lotus Bloom ticking down. We draw another Silence. Play an island. Play a Conjurer's Bauble. Pass the turn. I could have cracked Golden Egg to play Grape Shot, but I don't think that's good. The real concern is my opponent has a Kolaghan's Command, destroying our Lotus Bloom on our upkeep. That would be, I think, the most painful thing that could happen. So opponent plays a Bombat Courier, goes to combat, attacks us for 2, exiling 2 cards from the top of their deck. We take 2 and go down to 17. Opponent plays a Scourge of the Skyclaves. I could crack Golden Egg for life and actually kill Scourge, which might buy us some time, but my opponent could just lose life to Sunbaked Canyon, so it wouldn't matter. Alright, we untap. Lotus Bloom coming off Suspend. We draw Serum Visions. Cast Serum Visions. Getting a Thassa's Oracle. There's a Chromatic Sphere and an Open the Vaults. We're 1 too few mana for Open the Vaults. So put these both to the bottom. The question is, do I have to try and do something this turn? I would have 1 draw to try and hit Faith's Reward. Alright, we're going to pass. Hope our opponent doesn't have a Kolaghan's Command or a main deck Braid. I could have cracked for a Grape Shot and killed the Bombat Couriers, but... Okay. Opponent attacks for 5. Teamer Battle Rage, so we're getting hit for a lot here. I'm going down to 6. Then my opponent plays a Death Shadow and passes. We untap, draw Ghost Quarter. Well, we have no choice now. Float a blue, Ghost Quarter ourselves, get an island, crack Bauble. Alright, we get a star, play star, crack star for white. We get an open the vaults. That matters a lot. It's possible I can storm up high enough to actually kill my opponent because we're holding Grape Shot. So change that to white. Open the vaults. Opponent gets back a Mishra's Bauble. We get to draw 2 cards. Oh, you know what? I played a land this turn. Oh, perfect. Oh, that worked out, but just barely. Okay. So, because we got Reshape, we can sack Lotus Bloom. This is the only way we can gain mana without playing a land, is what I'm trying to say. Alright, filter for white. Filter for white. Crack Bauble. We draw. They're going to sack Bombat Courier. We get a Ghost Quarter, filter for white, Faith's Reward. Alright. So now, Mystic Sanctuary. Oh wait, hang on. Cool. Whew! Barely squeaked that one out. Okay. Because of my opponent's heavy reliance on hand hate, we do need Leyline of Sanctity. I'm going to drop the Opts and the Silences for that. I'm going to drop Twin Cast for a Nature's Claim, and I think possibly a Serum Visions for a Nature's Claim. And my logic here is, if my opponent has Grave Hate, it's going to be either Surgical Extraction, or it's going to be like Nile Spellbomb. I should actually look this up, so hang on a sec. So, Rakdos Death Shadow in Modern. Out of the sideboard, we have Soul Guide Lantern, so Nature's Claim seems appropriate. In this case, I probably want more Nature's Claims. So I'm going to cut an open... you know what? I'm just going to run 3. I'm going to cut an open the vaults for the third one. Try it like this. Nature's Claim's kind of funny versus them anyway. Alright, well, I mean, like, we've got 2 Lotus Blooms, so we're going to keep. We do only have the 1 Bauble for a redraw, and we didn't keep a hand with Leyline of Sanctity, which means we are going to be a little bit soft to hand hate. Opponent did mulligan to 5. Fetch, they shock, and they play Inquisition, so they can take Bauble, Bloom, or Bloom. Probably take a Bloom. Or they could take Bauble if they think us having mana is just an inevitability. They take Bauble. That's fair. They play their own Bauble. Crack it. Alright. We untap. We draw a Reshape. So play a Flooded Strand, suspend Bloom, pass the turn. Opponent untaps, plays a Sunbaked Canyon. It's a Bombat Courier. Goes to combat, gets in for 1. We take 1 and go to 19. Then they pass. We untap. I'm going to fetch up an island here. I know this is like really premature to be doing that, but I don't want to draw more lands. Okay, we draw Ghost Quarter. So play Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. I would like to draw some eggs now, please. Just a couple would be good enough. Opponent goes to combat, gets in for 1. We go down to 17. Opponent plays a Soul Guide Lantern. Exiling Bauble. Yep. Oh, I probably should have brought in Pithing Needle, because I didn't think about reshaping for Pithing Needle. Okay, we get a Sphere. So, play a Sphere. Play a Mystic Sanctuary tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Problem is we need Nature's Claim to be able to combo safely. Opponent attacks us for 1. At least they don't have a fast clock. Black-red, opponent plays Scourge of the Skyclave, so their clock just got a lot faster. We untap. Lotus Bloom coming off suspend. Cast it. Lotus Bloom coming off suspend. Cast it. We draw. Faith's Reward. If we had 2 Faith's Rewards, we could combo off in spite of a Soul Guide Lantern, which would be awesome. Play Ghost Quarter. What do we do? I'm going to sack this for white. Alright. Play Serum Visions. We draw Conjurer's Bauble. There's a Golden Egg and a Conjurer's Bauble on top. Conjurer's Bauble on the bottom. Golden egg on top. Pass to our... Oh, I should have played the bauble with the white man I was floating. Play Conjurer's Bauble. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Plays a swamp. Goes to combat. Problem is, they have a piece of hand hate, we're probably just done. Opponent Teamer Battle Rage, so the first hit hits us for 4, and the second hit hits us for 8. That's a lot. Oh, it hits us for 7 because my opponent's at 13 and not 12. Alright, we untap. Draw the golden egg. Play the golden egg. We draw plains. Crack bauble. Get a Serum Visions. Play Hollowed Fountain untapped. Cast Serum Visions. We get a Mystic Sanctuary. Yeah, if I hadn't cracked that Flooded Strand and I could Mystic Sanctuary to put Faith's Reward back on top in response to Soul Guide Lantern, that would have been great. The problem is we are out of draws, and our opponent has Hand Hate sitting on the board. It is unlikely that we can really do anything here, isn't it? Hang on a minute. I can get clever with this, I think. So we're going to cast Faith's Reward, right? Hang on. Yeah, okay. So we cast Faith's Reward, and we say to our opponent, you either have to crack Lantern now, or let us have these permanents. Okay, opponent exiles our grave. So now we Ghost Quarter ourselves. In response, we get an island. Crack for white, filter 1 to blue. Faith's Reward, get all of that back. Okay, now I just have to stack the triggers correctly, putting Faith's Reward back on top of the deck. Oh yeah, we found the line. Big brain Kano, holy crap. Now, we can get white, reshape the egg. I could speed this up by getting another egg, but I don't really want to think about doing that right now. Ghost Quarter Mystic Sanctuary. Get an island. Then we Faith's Reward. This is sweet. Opponent is going to crack Courier. If they can get a Cling to Dust in the 4 cards under Courier, they can stop us. So Mystic Sanctuary, putting Faith's Reward back on top. Oh, you know what? I just realized I needed to get an egg with that reshape. I knew I was going to punt spectacularly. Oh, that's such a problem. I needed to get another egg with that. I knew that was wrong, and I said it when I did it. I can draw reshape and get another egg instead of Faith's Reward. We can just get a whole bunch of mana and do that instead. I can gain infinite life in a really long infinite life gain loop. Okay, hang on. Infinite life gain is not correct unless your opponent has a Scourge of the Skyclaves that you can kill by gaining life. So Faith's Reward, Mystic Sanctuary, put Faith's Reward back on top of the deck, draw Faith's Reward, float mana, float mana, float mana, float mana, gain life. See, if this was paper, I could just say, I repeat this loop an infinite number of times, and I technically would win the game here. However, it is not. So, I must try to win the game via legitimate means. But before I YOLO on trying to draw the actual combo, or trying to draw reshape and getting another egg, we will use Ghost Quarter's ability. All the lands almost out of our deck. Faith's Reward. Yeah, if only I'd gotten the second egg, we would have actually won here. But, you know, leave it to Kano to punt, because he's gotta. Okay, all of the lands now out of our deck. Faith's Reward. I only have to do the loop 2 more times to get back, or to actually kill my opponents. Oh, my opponent just scooped it up. How polite of them. Well, we beat Death Shadow, and we shouldn't have, but we did. So, Alright, well, I'll see you guys in round 3. Alrighty, round 3, here we go. I would like to play first. This seems actually like a great opening hand for this deck, so I will keep this hand. We're going to start Island, Chromatic Sphere, Suspend Bloom, Suspend Bloom. Pass the turn. Opponent starts Breeding Pool, untapped, and passes. Lotus Blooms ticking down. We draw an island, play a Flooded Strand, pass the turn. Opponent plays a snow-covered island. We untap, Blooms ticking down. We draw an opt, play an island, pass... actually, I should opt on my turn here. Serum Visions will draw, cast Serum Visions. Another Open the Vaults. I don't think we want to draw another land, so we'll put those on the bottom. Pass the turn. Opponent Growth Spirals. This is probably some variation of Uro. Okay, they untap. We can play through a Mana Leak, but not a Cryptic. So it's a Wilderness Reclamation. Okay, so this is the Sultai or Simic Uro deck. They get to untap all their lands. We untap. Lotus Bloom coming off Suspend. Cast it. Lotus Bloom coming off Suspend. Cast it. Then we draw Chromatic Star. Play Chromatic Star. Pass to our second main phase. If I cast Open the Vaults, it definitely just gets countered. Which, yeah, I think means we have to wait. Opponent flashes in an Ice Fang Quaddle. Draws a card. Oh, it uses the Snow Frame now. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand. Casts a Jace the Mind Sculptor. Brainstorms. Cracks Flooded Strand to shuffle away what was brainstormed. They play a Rimewood Falls. I knew those cards were going to see play. Okay. And then they get to untap. We untap. Draw Chromatic Sphere. So, play Sphere. I guess we just have to try it. Crack Sphere, play Ghost Quarter. I can reshape... I could reshape the star and play around Mana Leak, I guess. So fetch with Flooded Strand, get an island, Ghost Quarter ourself, get an island, reshape, sacking star, draw a card. Really hope it's a silence. That'd be great. I mean, maybe I should have just waited and tried to draw a silence, but... Okay, we get an opt. Reshape gets us a Lotus Bloom. Sack for blue. Opt. Chromatic Star to the bottom. Get another reshape. Alright, sack for white. Open the vaults. This gets countered, 100%. I mean, if they don't, or if they don't have a counter spell, they'd be in huge trouble. We can play around Mana Leak, but nothing else. Cryptic, yep. Well, Cryptic gets us. Pass the turn. We have enough mana we can open the vaults next turn, at least. That doesn't get us back our lands, but potentially it could allow us to combo off. Put a Mystic Sanctuaries. Okay, they just put Cryptic back on top and draw it. So. Alright. So, for the Wilderness Reclamation deck, which is Sultai Uro, out of the sideboard, they're going to run Engineered Explosives, Nile Spell Bombs, Ashiok, but I mean, other than Reshape, we don't really search our library, but that is bad grave hate for us. So, we definitely want Ley Lines. And we're probably going to need some number of Nature's Claims. So I'm going to go down. Opts. I'm keeping Silence. I'm dropping Twin Cast. Grape Shot is probably a little ambitious. I'm going to cut an Open the Vaults. I will cut one Reshape. I'll cut a Serum Visions. I think I'm actually going to just run 2 Nature's Claims. We're going to try it like this. I would like to play first. Triple Leyline of Sanctity, Faith's Reward, Lotus Bloom. If we top deck a land, this hand is not unreasonable, but I think it's better as a 6. No Leyline, 2 Serum Visions. I'm going to 5. Crap. Going to 4. Alright, I will keep 3 of these. I will put back Plains, Silence, Sphere, and Ghost Quarter. Play Leyline. I mean, we'd have to top deck like a god, but technically we could win this. Technically. I should have kept the opener. I was hoping we could get like a 6 or a 5 with Leyline and something else, but... Alright, well, we're top decking pretty well so far. Opponent cracks Misty Rainforest for a Rimewood Falls. Plays a snow-covered island and passes. We draw Serum Visions, cast Serum Visions, another Serum Visions, Chromatic Star, Faith's Reward on top. I don't know if we can afford to hold out for deck thinning, or to hold out for cracking Flooded Strand during the Faith's Reward turn, so I'm going to get a Hallowed Fountain and just cast Serum Visions here. Get another Faith's Reward, Golden Egg to the bottom. Actually, yeah, we gotta ship these to the bottom. The fact that we didn't draw a land, I guess, is probably bad. Did I scry a land to the bottom earlier? I may have. That might have been a mistake. Draw Conjurer's Bauble. Play Conjurer's Bauble. This is why I wanted to put Veil of Summer in this deck. I didn't, because I saw Silence, and I was like, that might do the job. I think the sideboard's going to need some work for the current Modern metagame. Okay, opponent plays Wilderness Reclamation, and passes. We untap. We draw Open the Vaults. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Flooded Strand. Yeah, alright. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it up. I'm not going to make you agonize through this. Alright, I will see you guys in round 4. Alrighty, round 4, here we go. It's kind of heavy on the lands, but I'm going to keep this. I'm kind of also experimenting and seeing what are some good openers, because even though I did test, I'm not entirely certain. Obviously, like, having access to Faith's Reward, Reshape, etc. is better, but we have the opportunity to top deck at least. So Start Island will opt. Conjurer's Bauble to the bottom. Pass the turn. So next turn I'll play Golden Egg. Probably off of a Ghost Quarter, just in case. What is this, Skred? No, that's not a Snow Mountain. So this is probably the Transmog Titan deck, if I had to guess. But they are main decking Relic of Progenitus. So that's gonna suck, unless we can do another clever Faith's Reward style thing. Alright. No, it wouldn't be Transmog Titan, because Indomitable Creativity would hit Relic. So there's something else. So we untap, Lotus Bloom ticking down, draw Plains, play an island, play Chromatic Star, pass the turn. Opponent sacks Relic. Okay, they either have another one, or they don't understand what it is that we're doing, and the fact that we are going to be very heavily using the graveyard. Alright, yeah, I'll take it as a victory. We are going to bring in Nature's Claims. Dropped a couple ops and a Silence, maybe. And I'll bring in, you know what, I'll bring in an Echoing Truth instead of a Nature's Claim, and we'll just run it back like that. So time to see what my opponent is actually playing. The Mountains Valakut Relic of Progenitus deck that mulliganed to 4. Oh, it's Trickery. It's gotta be No, because they would cascade into Relic. What is my opponent playing? Alright, well, we gotta draw mana, but we can Nature's Claim. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan for a different hand. Okay, this hand is better. I will put back Plains. They are playing green. Suspending Search for Tomorrow. So, okay, so maybe this is just red-green Valakut. Okay, play an island, play a bauble, suspend a Lotus Bloom, pass the turn. Opponent explores, plays a Wooded Foothills, Lotus Bloom taken down. We draw an island. I could reshape right now. I don't think I should. I think I'm going to play a Hallowed Fountain tapped and pass the turn. I would like to draw an egg next turn. Like, actually, I'd like to draw a golden egg and cantrip into another egg. Okay, so Search for Tomorrow comes off suspend. They play a land. Acid Moss. Okay. They get a Stomping Ground. We untap, Lotus Bloom ticking down. I still think Golden Egg into Egg would be best. Face Reward, there is some amount of benefit to. So, play an island, pass the turn. Opponent Farseeks. Just ramp.deck. Hopefully this is an escape shift for lethal. Damping Sphere. What? You can't just do that. So I assume that means I need a Nature's Claim to win. So we untap, Lotus Bloom coming off suspend. Cast Lotus Bloom. We draw Ghost Quarter. Play Ghost Quarter. I don't think I reshape. I think I wait. It's possible that maybe we should be playing one Darksteel Citadel to have a land to reshape. Not 100% on that, though. Opponent Farseeks again. We untap. They're going to Beast Within. Alright. So sack Lotus Bloom. Crack Conjurer's Bauble. I regret taking the green mana out of my deck. But we can get an island. Faith's Reward. Get all of that back. Beast Within fizzles. And we draw Grape Shot. Play Flooded Strand. Okay, I can fetch up Faith's Reward. Hang on, there's a way to do this. I can fetch up Faith's Reward with Mystic Sanctuary. I can crack Bauble to draw Faith's Reward. Then I can Ghost Quarter to get white mana to play it. I can crack Bloom for green to Nature's Claim. Alright, let's do this. Green. Nature's Claim. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward to the top of my deck. Draw it. Ghost Quarter myself for a Plains. Faith's Reward to get all of that back. Okay, I've got the infinite combo. Because then we Mystic Sanctuary, Faith's Reward to the top of my deck, draw Faith's Reward. Because I'm holding Grape Shot, so this does work. This actually wins. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. Get an island. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary, Faith's Rewards. We just have an infinite Storm combo. Crack Bauble. Add white mana. Crack Flooded Strand. Get an island. Float mana. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. We're going to be here for a while, so hopefully I don't mess this up somehow. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary. Put Faith's Reward on top of my deck. Crack Bauble. Ghost Quarter myself. Nothing left in the deck. Yeah, sack Flooded Strand. We are going to get our other Mystic Sanctuary, but we're not putting it on. We're not putting anything on top of the deck. So Faith's Reward. Get everything back. Faith's Reward back on top. Oh, I suppose I could have actually like Grape Shot, used Mystic Sanctuary to Grape Shot, and cut this combo in half. But that's fine. We don't have to do that. Put Faith's Reward back. Crack Bauble. Float red mana this time. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary, Faith's Reward. Draw it. Float blue mana. Ghost Quarter myself. No. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary. Put Faith's Reward on top of my deck. Draw it. Crack for white. Float mana. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Faith's Reward. Get all of that back. Mystic Sanctuary, Faith's Reward. Draw it. Float mana. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary, Ghost Quarter. On top of the deck. Draw it. Float mana. Actually, okay. Just making sure my opponent wasn't like, dude, what are you doing? Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward on top of my deck. Draw it. Float mana. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Faith's Reward. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward to the top of my deck. Conjure's Bauble to draw it. Float mana. Ghost Quarter myself. No. Float mana. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. Only 8 more iterations of the loop. Faith's Reward to the top of my deck. Float mana. Draw it. Add white. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward to the top of my deck. Float mana. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Do not use its ability. Draw Faith's Reward still, right? Yeah, okay. Whew, almost messed that up. That would have been a Kano punt and a half. You know it. Faith's Reward. I'm so glad the search is a May. Alright, Faith's Reward, top of the deck. Crack Bauble. I just had to sneak that heart attack in there for everybody who's watching. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No shuffle. White. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward. Top of the deck. Crack Bauble. Draw it. Float white. Float mana. Ghost Quarter self. No. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward to the top of the deck. Crack Bauble. Draw Faith's Reward. Ghost Quarter self. No. Float white. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. We're almost there, everybody. We are almost there. Draw Faith's Reward. Float mana. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. No. Float white. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. Mystic Sanctuary. Faith's Reward. Top of the deck. Bauble. Draw it. Float mana. Ghost Quarter self. Yes. No. Float white. Faith's Reward. Okay. Put Faith's Reward on top of the deck. Finally. Grape Shot. Ugh. Whew. Somebody want to go back and tell me how long that combo was? Check the game timer because your video time is probably going to have some of that cut out. But we found the line and it involved holding Grape Shot. I mean, technically, because we had Reshape, if I wasn't holding Grape Shot, I could have reshaped for another egg after we generated enough mana. That's a match win, and I'll see you guys in round 5. I know round 5 hasn't started yet, but I'm still thinking about that Galaxy Brain play from earlier, where we Faith's Reward, only cracking one of our Lotuses. That was pretty sweet. Alright, round 5. Here we go. I don't think I can keep that. I can keep this, though. I've got to put back a Reshape, I believe. Alright. Opponent starts Hollowed Fountain, which is not a good sign for us. Play an island, play Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. They play an island, and pass. We draw Golden Egg. That will probably give it away, won't it? Play Ghost Quarter. Play Golden Egg. So we're going to try and draw a Silence the turn we want to go off. Opponent opts. They untap. Field of Ruin. We untap. We draw an opt. Play an island. Play Chromatic Sphere. Pass the turn. That Field of Ruin is not going to filter mana for them very well. I'll make sure of that. Opponent Snapcaster Mage for opt. So this looks like it might actually be a control deck. which would explain why it's in the 2 and 2 bracket. Okay, they opt. They untap. Play Polluted Delta. Hit us for 2. We go down to 18. We opt. Mystic Sanctuary to the bottom. We find a Faith's Reward. Untap. We draw Thassa's Oracle. Play Plains. Pass the turn. See what our opponent does. Opponent cracks Polluted Delta. Gets a Hallowed Fountain tapped. They play another Field of Ruin. Okay. They attack us down to 16. We untap. We draw Serum Visions. Play Serum Visions. Draw another Reshape. There's a Silence. Open the vaults to the bottom. Silence to the top. I'm not going to play Hallowed Fountain because my opponent would field us and force us to shuffle. Yeah, they untap. They hit us down to 14. They play Mystic Sanctuary, no targets. We untap. We draw Silence. Play Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. I would like to draw a fetch land or a Mystic Sanctuary before we try and go off. Okay, we get fielded. That's fine. Play an island. Opponent plays a Colonnade. They go to combat. Hit us for 2. We untap. We draw a Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, so we have to wait one more turn. Because then we can silence, unless my opponent Force of Negations to exile it. We can silence twice. Okay, my opponent untaps and draws. They go to combat. They attack us for 2, we go to 10. We untap and draw Golden Egg. Silence. They're gonna peek at our hand. Sure. This is a terrible matchup for us, by the way. Let's put it Cryptics, counter Silence, and draws. Sure. Play Mystic Sanctuary. Put Silence on top of our deck. Oh, wait, hang on. Sack for white. This is a mana ability. Silence again. Yeah, buddy! Here we go. Reshape. Sack Chromatic Star. Draw a card. Get Lotus Bloom. Float blue. Reshape. X0. Sack Golden Egg. Get Lotus Bloom. Float white. Float blue. Ghost Quarter ourself. Get an island. And Faith's Reward. Get it all back! Oh, hang on. I have to stack the triggers right. So Golden Egg trigger first. Faith's Reward goes on top of the deck. Draw Faith's Reward. Ghost Quarter, Mystic Sanctuary. Get an island. Sack for white. Draw a card. Sack for white, sack for blue. Cycle. Cycle. Play Golden Egg. We draw. Play Golden Egg. We draw. Reshape. X0, sack Golden Egg. Get a Lotus Bloom. Crack for blue. Play Chromatic Star. Crack for white. Crack for white. Faith's Reward. Get it all back. Okay, so stack like this. Mystic Sanctuary, putting Faith's Reward on top. Draw Faith's Reward. Draw Chromatic Sphere. Draw Golden. Okay, so now we have like 29 draws left that we have to make. White. White. Blue. Blue for blue. Draw a card. It's another Faith's Rewards. We don't even have to worry about the loop anymore. I could just Grape Shot them at this point. That might be faster. Play Sphere. Crack Sphere for red. Cast another Silence. Crack Sphere for blue. Play Golden Egg. Draw a card. Play a Conjurer's Bauble. Play a Conjurer's Bauble. Sack for white. Alright. Grape Shot. Same targets all the way down. That saved me from having to draw 23 cards. Getting them with the old double silence. Just like we drew it up. We were very lucky our opponent did not have a Force of Negation or another relevant counterspell. Whew. Okay, so now what do we need? Versus blue-white control, a deck that doesn't actually exist. I'm gonna bring in Echoing Truth. Well, Twincast actually seems like it could be relevant here. I'm gonna bring in Echoing Truth over an opt. I'll bring in a Nature's Claim over an opt. And I could bring in Pithing Needle or a Nile Spellbomb here, because my opponent is playing Snapcasters. So I'll bring in a Nile Spellbomb over and open the vaults, because the 6-mana play seems pretty ambitious versus a deck that plays so many counterspells. Let's go! Alright, opponent gets to decide whether they want to play first or not. Kind of wish we had some defense grids or something. I feel like we probably should, for the sake of like a reshape into a defense grid or something like that. But we'll keep this hand. Opponent starts Leyline of Sanctity. Really glad I kept this Nature's Claim. Kind of sad they didn't have to mulligan harder for it, though. Draw Conjurer's Bauble. Play an island, play a star, pass the turn. Basically, we're going to kill Leyline of Sanctity. Well, no, we have to kill Leyline of Sanctity at a time where Open the Vaults doesn't matter. Well, we can win with Thassa's Oracle. We actually don't need to worry about Leyline of Sanctity. Okay, we draw a Twin Cast. So, does that change anything? I don't think so. Play Ghost Quarter, play Conjurer's Bauble. The big thing to save Nature's Claim for is if our opponent has a Stony Silence. That's the big thing. I mean, we do have an Echoing Truth, so if we have to use Nature's Claim early, it's fine, in theory. Okay, opponent cracks Polluted Delta on our end step. Gets an island. I have to be really careful and manage the clock here to try and ensure that we have enough time to combo, because our combo is so time intensive. My opponent is also playing a slow deck with a slow clock in general, so I mean, hopefully we can actually win. Okay, opponent plays a Prairie Stream and passes. We untap, draw Chromatic Star, play Hallowed Fountain tapped, play Chromatic Star, F6. Twin Cast we could actually use as a counterspell if we had to. Okay, opponent Archmage's Charm to draw cards. Mystic Sanctuary. They're going to put Archmage's Charm back on top of their deck. Sure. We untap, draw Chromatic Sphere, play Chromatic Sphere, pass the turn. We're getting peeked at, boys. No fair, that's cheating. You can't just look at my cards. What if my cards are good cards? And you get to know. Alright, my opponent Archmage's Charm. Draw mode. Sure. 4 mana, they're going to play Jace. Well, if there was ever a turn we were going to get to combo off, it would probably be our upcoming turn. If we draw Faith's Reward, we might actually be able to do it. I think I'm going to try for it. Okay, we get another reshape. Sack Chromatic Star to reshape. Draw Golden Egg. Reshape out a Lotus Bloom. We're at 5 mana currently. So, blue, blue, blue. Reshape. Which I could clone with Twin Cast, but something's telling me not to do that. Draw Serum Visions. Reshape gets us a Lotus Bloom. Oh, hang on. This is incorrect. We do sack this for white. Sack this for blue. Okay. So now we do this. Open the vaults. They surgically extract Lotus Bloom? Yep. That's gonna do it. Without Lotus Bloom, we can't start generating tons of mana. Actually, if we get Faith's Reward, we can generate enough mana to win. No, we can't, because we won't have enough landfalls. We'll only get to Faith's Reward like 2 times. So that sucks. I'm going to go ahead and concede, and I'm not going to try and win this game. Because we definitely need our clock for the final game here. Alright, we'll play first. This hand doesn't look too bad, so we're going to keep. I'm going to start Serum Visions. Let's see what we draw. Grape Shot. Ghost Quarter to the bottom. Lotus Bloom to the top. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays an island. Passes. Play Conjurer's Bauble. Play Ghost Quarter. Play Conjurer's Bauble. Suspend Lotus Bloom. Pass the turn. Now, with Conjurer's Baubles on the field, as long as we leave one up while we're comboing, we're not dead to a single surgical extraction. We could be dead to multiple. Okay, opponent plays an island. Passes. We untap, Lotus Bloom ticking down. Get an island. Play an island, pass the turn, leaving Mystic Sanctuary in my hand to keep Field of Ruins, potential Field of Ruins turned off. Also, the chance that we might need to actually play it out of hand for a buyback. Okay, there's a Field of Ruin. Lotus Bloom ticking down. Get a Chromatic Star. Play Chromatic Star. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Polluted Delta. We untap. Lotus Bloom coming off suspend. Okay, opponent cracks Polluted Delta for a Prairie Stream. They're going to remand Lotus Bloom. Sure. Draw Serum Visions. Cast Serum Visions. Okay, eggs to the bottom. Play Chromatic Sphere. Suspend Lotus Bloom. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Plays an island. Plays Teferi. Okay. So Lotus Bloom now will not be able to come off suspend. Unless, in theory, I could Grape Shot here. Nope, I can't Grape Shot because my opponent did down tick Teferi. This is unfortunate because it means Lotus Bloom is going to remain in exile forever. Game is still not over yet. Okay, we draw Silence. Play Mystic Sanctuary. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Hollowed Fountain untapped. Passes without doing anything with Teferi. Oh, the reason they didn't down tick is because we could have just cracked an egg in response and then nothing would have happened for them. That's what that's about. We draw Bauble. Play Bauble. Okay, pass the turn. We would like some white mana. And then like a Faith's Reward, I suppose. Big mana, what is this? Cycling a Shark Typhoon. Yep, not really anything we can do about it. Now my opponent has a clock. They untap, they play Flooded Strand. They hit us for 4. Okay. We untap, Lotus Bloom stays exiled forever. Draw Thassa's Oracle. Alright, pass the turn, because there's nothing we can do. Of any value, anyway. There's a lot of things that would have to happen for us to win. Like, we have to silence into, like, a reshape for Lotus Bloom into a Faith's Reward in order to win this game. They put up Mystic Sanctuaries, they're going to put Remand back on top of their deck. They're also going to Field of Ruin our Mystic Sanctuary. Get a Plains. We can't cast anything, but we're not going to F6 because we might want to respond to like a bounce spell. Okay, opponent hits us for 4 down to 12. Yeah, we need a reshape and a Faith's Reward. Get another Ghost Quarter, so play a Ghost Quarter. Pass the turn. Snapcaster Mage for opt. Okay, opponent opts. Snapcaster Mage for opt. They opt again. They play a Flooded Strand. I mean, the odds that we actually can get a Silence to resolve is pretty abysmal. But in theory, it's a way that we could win. We know they have a Remand, but I guess like a Cryptic command for the Silence would do it. It's definitely a hard counter. Mana Leak would leave us with not enough mana to combo. Okay, opponent picks up Snapcaster Mage, because they want to have it for the counter fight. Alright, they got a discard to hand size. Discarding Teferi and Field. We draw Reshape. Silence. Cryptic, counter draw. Okay. Well, Reshape. Sack Chromatic Star. Mystic Sanctuary, they're going to put Cryptic on top of their deck. Remand, Reshape, draw Cryptic. Okay, we draw Twin Cast. That may have been useful earlier this turn. Crack Bauble. Let's see what we draw. Crack Bauble. Actually... Okay, Ghost Quarter and Island. Float mana. Ghost Quarter and Island. Then we reshape a Conjurer's Bauble. They may not have another counterspell, and if they don't, there's a small chance the top card of our deck is, they're gonna Surgical Chromatic Star? Do we care about that? Kind of. So Crack Bauble, put Star on the bottom of our deck. I think my opponent was better off trying to surgical our Lotus Bloom post. Unless they have a second surge. Oh, they have a Snapcaster. That's a problem. I totally took the bait. Oh, they had another remand anyway. Okay, never mind. So you're actually dead in multiple ways there, but the correct choice was to let that surgical resolve. Yeah. Well, we went 2 and 3. We could have easily 3 and 2'd and possibly 4 and 1 with that deck. I'm not an expert. I definitely have a lot to learn if I'm going to play eggs again. I am going to take a long break from playing eggs, just because of how intensive and how long it took to record this video. This was, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and remember you can follow me on Twitch, same username over there as you find me on here. I stream Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, though the last few have been earlier. I'm sure there's some improvements to this list, but I am completely sapped right now, and I don't think I can orate them effectively. So if you want improvements to this list, which should be in the description below, please join the Discord. Links in the description. You can ask Miximcz himself. You can ask me. You can ask several other jank brewers. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. It was a long one. You're all wonderful human beings, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.